Well, welcome to this week's installment of the ZoCo Podcast. My name's Alex. I'm here with Kody and Trevor. What's going on? I was going to say folks, and I thought about saying friends, and then couldn't decide.
You can say fellas.
Oh, man. What a great start to the podcast. Well, we've already broken Alex. Well, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing fine myself.
Good.
Words.
Trevor, how are you doing?
I'm doing.
Good.
That can be good.
Oh, goodness.
It's been a long week already.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just is.
Do you want to expand upon that?
Expound.
Expound upon that?
Well, no, just my one of my supervisors is injured, so I basically took over her schedule. So I'm just working a little bit more than what I'm used to. So at a farther store. So
Well, that sucks.
oh well, I'm getting money.
Yeah, work. You know, work is great, isn't it?
I love your enthusiasm, Kody.
It's good to have a job.
Still working on it. Thanks.
Oh, man. It's okay. When you get a job, it'll be at least a career. I'm still working at a deadbeat job.
Money's money. I'll take that right now, too. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
I'll sell you my shoes.
I'll sell them right back to you for more.
I'll take it.
That's how business works, right?
Uh,
Take an item, mark it up, and sell it back.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
That's what Kohl's did.
And we see how well that worked out for them.
A lawsuit.
Oh man. Did you guys buy from Kohl's lately?
No. I have not shopped at Kohl's lately. No.
Not at all.
I want my items to be marked the way they should be marked, not, marked up.
I haven't been shopping that lately at all either.
No.
Although I do need new shoes.
I got you covered.
I will buy your shoes.
$20. Ocean Pacifics. Slightly used. They're gray with white laces.
No, I need to hit the van store on Monday.
That's where it's at. Oh, speaking of Monday, Monday's a holiday.
It is.
So what are you guys doing for Memorial Day?
Shopping for shoes.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Alex, what are you doing for Memorial Day?
Well, if you want to know,
Story time.
I've considered going out and...
This means he has nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I know what I'm not doing.
Working.
I'm not working. 3-day weekend.
I like this plan.
Hey,
Every weekend for me is a 3-day weekend.
You're still on a 3-day weekend.
I've been on a perpetual 3-day weekend that hasn't ended for a month now.
Wow. How do I get that job?
Well,
Does it require a degree?
it does help.
It extends the process beyond the month.
Oh Lord.
Oh, man. Otherwise, Taco Bell will just snatch you right up.
Yeah, seriously. Who doesn't want all this?
All what?
And no pictures were shown.
I'll just black out the logo. Oh, man. I'll just have the logo burn out at that point.
Thanks.
And it's gone. Thank Alex for the blank screen right now.
So how's your job, Kody?
Golly, don't get me started. It gets rougher and rougher by the day. I don't know if I've ever have I explained what I do?
Drive trucks and to the construction sites.
Yeah, I drive a plumbing truck.
But
And
you're not a plumber, though.
I'm not a plumber. No. I don't know the art of plumbing. But I drive a truck for the plumbers, delivering their parts to them because we do new home construction, not like on-call stuff. Yeah, so it kind of sucks because I have to drive all over Southern California and sit in Southern California traffic. So for our out of the country listeners, traffic is when thousands of cars are on the same freeway at the same time.
6 lanes, mind you.
7.
On either side.
At one part, 8. I counted them today, including the fast track lanes. You have the 2 fast track lanes, and then there's 6 normal lanes, and we're sitting there in bumper to bumper traffic, just like, well, this is our life. Sucks.
Did you have plums while you were in traffic?
No plums today. No, but
Seems like something a plumber would like.
no, but making more than minimum at least. Minimum for California was changed to $10 an hour this year.
Yep.
And I think in the next couple of years it's supposed to go back up, or not back up, but it's supposed to go up to 15. Yep. So time to get out of California.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Guys, it's a joke. California's not really that great. We have good weather most of the time and the beach. Other than that, it pretty much sucks.
Yeah, anybody I talk to who says they want to go to Los Angeles, I'm like, why?
I was in LA today. Oh my gosh, I felt like I was gonna die. We we went to Burger King for lunch, and the food may or may not have been sufficient, but I'll trust the grading scale on the window. It did say it was an A, so we'll see. We'll see if I puke out my guts later tonight. And yeah, it was just a sketchy part of town. So 2 white boys driving a big old truck, kind of sketchy.
2 white boys in a big truck.
Oh man. But yeah, I was actually talking with my dad today about like people outside of California. They always want to go to LA and experience LA. I was just in LA today. No, you don't. You want to experience like downtown LA, which is a very like specific part of town.
Just go to Beverly Hills.
I went to Beverly Hills once. I'll never go again. I got a parking ticket in Beverly Hills. I will never go again. That's when Nathan and I went to the Walk Off the Earth concert. And it was like right on the border of Beverly Hills and LA. Like whatever that border is. And it was at the Troubadour. So for anyone who lives in LA who knows where that is. And yeah, I parked along the street. I didn't see any signs that said no parking. But once the concert was over, we walked back. And I had this, fancy little note from the city of Beverly Hills saying that I was parking in a no parking zone.
Were you the only car parked there?
It turns out that you had to have a permit to park there.
Oh.
I think it was a residential parking, but the residents that live there have a sticker on their window that says that they can park in that neighborhood.
Interesting.
So super specific, kind of weird.
They don't want any stalkers coming up on the celebs there?
Yeah, I guess not. Because that's where the celebrities hang out.
Pretty much.
No, they're probably all out in Malibu, living it up. That's where Tony Stark's mansion was.
Until it got blown up.
Till it got blown up and destroyed. Do you think his insurance... Do you think his insurance covered missile-induced earthquakes?
From helicopters?
Oh, man. So what else has been going on?
School and work mostly for me. Although, I have been looking at my PlayStation 4 and
Play more.
Getting more games, but I have no memory left.
Space issues, yeah.
Well, the problem with like the Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox you can get an external hard drive. So I mean, even though they now have the terabyte Xbox Ones, even though if you get a 500 gigabyte, which is what mine is for the Xbox One as well, you can buy an external hard drive because Microsoft has already created this basically that you can do that. Sony has yet to do this. So, in order to upgrade your PS4, you need to literally change out the hard drive. Because I actually heard even the terabyte PlayStation 4 is not even all that good in graphics for some reason. But and I'm not buying a new PS4.
Just for space?
Yeah, just for space, no. But anyways,
wouldn't recommend it.
I decided to look it up. Maybe I could find something. And I found out that there's actually a pretty simple way of being able to switch out your old hard drive in with a 2 terabyte hard drive.
See, there's a way you can do that. It's called a PC. And
Yeah.
you just pull it out and you put a new one in.
I was trying to fit in this. Do you see this thing right here? It's called the PC. This one's custom made to my liking. I've upgraded a few times since I've got it, and I can put as much memory into this thing as I want to. I should clarify that. I can put as much space into this as I want. No limitations on terabytes or
as much as you can afford.
I can actually afford quite a bit with my job.
Oh man.
I'm just not as much a PC gamer though. I'm really more of a console gamer. I mean, I do have some PC games and I do appreciate the PC game. It's just I tend to go more towards the actual consoles.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the consoles. I'm not a fan of the setup. I'm not a fan of you have to pay $400 for every new system and you have to pay for, well, I guess not PlayStation Network, but the whole this is gonna start a flame war. We're like on the border of a flame war. But I don't like paying for live. I don't want to deal with the PlayStation Network. I like my PC. I can download any game, buy it through whatever Steam, and I've got it. And my computer can run it. No problems.
That's the thing, though. There are some pros and cons to both. I as well am not a console gamer. I've given up that entirely. I'm not much of a gamer at all, but when I do, I play on PC. You can flash a picture there. The guy, the Dos Equis guy. But, I mean, there are definitely perks to being able to upgrade your own computer, your system. But at the same time, any new game you get now, you may not be able to play because of new graphical restrictions, things like that. You have to set it to function with your computer, and newer games won't work. One nice thing about consoles is if you buy a console, every game that comes out for that console is guaranteed to work for that console. So there are some safeties in that. But regardless, it's not for me, but I still appreciate that view of it.
And I think that's where I play games differently, is because a lot of people say, "Oh, I won't play that game because how it looks." I hear that the most probably with Minecraft. Everyone says, "Oh, it looks like a crappy 8-bit game." They don't want to play it. But I don't care. Like, graphics to me it's not the selling point of a game. I think I play the game more for the content within the game, not so much the way it looks, just because it looks fancy. That's not what sells it for me.
Yeah, I mean, graphics, that's not necessarily why I go with the console anyway either. I just find the console's easier for me because personally with the PC, I'm not as familiar with PC anyway. So I've had a lot of issues with Steam, like downloading certain things. Like I've tried downloading Fallout 3, for example, and it didn't play. So even though I got it for cheap, it was still like, okay, well, now I have a game I can't even play. That's taking up space on my laptop.
Wasn't Xbox 360 just 1080 by 720? That was its HD?
I'm not sure.
I believe it was.
It was 1080p. That's full HD. That's 1920 by 1080.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because 720p, which is the baseline, 720p would be 1080 by, or 1280 by 720.
1280. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I
But-
thought that's what it was. 1280 by 720.
No, it went up to 1080p. But there's other limitations too. Like I personally, I love making a game look good. I love having it, with a good refresh rate above 60. I like having a higher frame rate that the game can lag a little bit and it wouldn't stutter. So like my monitor runs at 144 hertz, and thus games can also run around, not exactly, but can run around about 144 frames per second. They can then drop some and I wouldn't even notice. It's fine. And then I also love the ability to upgrade the computer when I want to, if I need to. It's just, it's not for everyone, but for those who want to invest in it, definitely worth it.
I'm looking up the Xbox One resolution right now.
I'm actually not a huge fan of Xbox One anyway. I just got one because it was cheap at the time that I could get it. Because I'm actually more of a PS4 guy.
What kind of reasoning's that? You just got it because it was cheap?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I had an Xbox 360 only because I had friends who wanted to play like Titanfall, and when Advanced Warfare came out, they want to play these games with me online. So that's why I ended up just getting it, because they pressured me into getting it. After like a couple months, they just started going to Xbox One and just playing that. So I'm like, great, now I have an Xbox 360, so I'll just make the best of it. And at one point, you could trade in at GameStop, you could trade in your Xbox 360 or your PS3 for $125 credit, which I also have a credit card for GameStop as well anyway, but you could trade it in for $125 credit. Then they had the Xbox One with the Master Chief Collection on sale. I think at the time it went down to like $350. So got $125 off that. I already had about $55 credit from trading in games and stuff. So I literally got the Xbox One and pretty much 4 games, because the Master Chief Collection is Halos 1 through 4. Plus you can also buy ODST on there as well. But it's literally 4 games with the Xbox One. I got it for about like $100.
That's fair.
So the PS4 games can achieve 1080p at 30 to 60 frames per second, when the counterpart, Xbox One, runs at 720p up to 900, still at 30 to 60 frames per second.
So it doesn't have 1080?
Not 1080.
Really? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you
That
sure?
That is the automatic post that Google brings up.
Honestly, like anytime I try to download anything, not even download, I'll just be installing the game. It takes a minimum of an hour or 2 hours for me every time. PS4, sometimes if it's a game that's has online content, it'll take maybe an hour. But most of the time, PS4, it's like you download the game and it's done in 10 minutes tops. So I don't know what the difference between that is, but
I'll stick with my computer. Website number 2 that says the same thing: PS4 1080 and Xbox 900. So sounds like PlayStation, or sounds like Sony's doing something right.
although
Well, sort of.
nobody thought ahead of time apparently to do it terabytes at first, unless they just want you to buy into the upgrade stuff.
You just buy a new console.
Because that's the problem, is that I literally only have I think 8 games on the PS4 that I can play now, because I had to delete 2 because I didn't have any room, and I'm getting more games for it, so that's why I want to upgrade.
I don't think very many people thought that we would need so much space just for games. But now we're starting to learn that, Steam, for instance, you're looking at 10 gigs a game.
Yeah.
So if you've got 50 games in your library that are all downloaded, you start stacking up your disk space real quick.
Yeah.
Well, for sure. But do you really need 50 games downloaded at one time?
Look, if I
Do
want to
you
play
them all at the same time.
If I want to play whatever I want to play and not have to wait 5 hours for it to download. If I want to play Portal 2 and then get off Portal 2 and go play Left 4 Dead 2, and then I get bored with that, so I go play Grand Theft Auto 4, and I get bored with that, so I want to go play Gary's Mod, I can do that.
It makes sense.
And that's still 40 gigs.
Or you can get one game and it's 62 gigs.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Titanfall.
62 gigs.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Haven't played it yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah, it's crazy how much space some of these are taking up now. It's just going to, they're going to get higher and higher, I think, just because of new graphical achievements that, they're putting into these. Higher textures, more, and, more to show, more levels, everything, just more.
That's what happened when Battlefield 3 came out. When Battlefield 3 came out, it was like you had to have the best graphics card to play it at the time. And now Battlefield 3 is nothing compared to I don't know, other games that have come out since then that have just ridiculous graphics.
Yeah.
You need a super computer to run those.
Yeah.
And I think my system's starting to reach its prime or past its prime. Time for an upgrade.
Yeah, video card. You'd be fine for a good while longer. I'll sell you mine.
I'll trade you my shoes.
I don't play games much anymore. They're still fun on occasion. I just don't play much anymore. I find my time more spent on just other projects, other interests, whatever I can get my hands on, just so I can learn, whatever. So in this case right now, for example, I've been looking into, researching, and starting to play with quadcopters, which is an up-and-coming thing right now. I mean, they're starting to become much more popular, a little more controversial, and they're still, they're dang fun. And what have you seen or done with quadcopters, drones? Yeah, drones for short.
I have one.
You do?
A mini quadcopter.
A little fits in the palm of your hand quadcopter.
A little mosquito.
Yeah, that thing is definitely a little mosquito. You tried to sneak up on me with that, but it's hard to sneak up when you have this loud whine.
Yeah, it also can't carry much of a payload, but
But
quadcopters, drones, they're becoming way more common even to these little ones, these little mini drones like you were talking about. I have one too. I mean, a $15 little mini drone you can just fly around, have some fun with. They're pretty amusing. But they can also do amazing things. I'm seeing them more and more in some shows that I've watched and seen. More and more in movies, you can tell when they're using quadcopter shots versus the old traditional, high boom shots or helicopter shots even. And quadcopters are much more convenient and cheaper to run and can get you into tighter spaces that other ones could not. So I myself am looking into, I'm doing the research to build myself a filming quadcopter and also a racing quadcopter. And the two are different because typically the filming ones need to be larger so they're more stable, and they can range from anywhere between 8 props, so a quadcopter, to 4 props, which is a quadcopter, to 8 props, which is an octocopter.
Quad means 4.
So, I mean, I've seen crazy ones with 8 props on them that are massive, but have also a big camera on the bottom, which is fully stabilized and everything for amazing shots.
Well, let's talk about something that's relative to all this. Amazon and drones. What happened to Amazon using drones?
Well, I think they're still looking into it, but I don't consider it practical, personally.
I think it would be kind of like fiber, like Google Fiber. It can only be done from, I guess, just big cities.
Close distance, yeah.
Because there's no way they're going to fly something, like a military drone halfway across the country. So it would only really be available to those who live in a big city.
They're going to fly. No, I want to see that. I want to see my package shipped from New York all the way to Southern California on a military drone just so they can drop off for me a box of cookies.
And then that camera just looks at you in the face, gets your profile. You're locked in the system at that point. They might as well have your social security number, fingerprint.
But I mean, yeah, they looked into it. They've researched it. I'm sure they've tested it, but I
They
don't see
tested
it
it.
being terribly practical.
They tested it and the drone got shot down.
Yeah.
And that was like the big pullback was, well, we realized that we can't exactly fly these things over people's houses because, yeah, they'll shoot them down if they see them.
Yeah. Which is where all the legality and controversy is coming from. A lot of just privacy issues when it comes to quadcopters, because even that little micro drone we have, while ours doesn't have a camera on it, they sell a version just like it that does. And it fits in the palm of my hand. and I can fly that, I don't know,
Anywhere.
a quarter mile away from me, and it streams it right to my phone.
Yeah. But, why couldn't Amazon have the same technology that the military has, flying those things miles above the ground?
It's different airspace. You're talking private airspace for local planes and pilots, commercial airspace, airliners, and military airspace. I mean, it's all taken.
And that, I think, is the problem with Amazon and the guy who shot down the plane or the drone. He claimed that he owned the airspace. It's the airspace above his house. So if the object passes through his house, it's his. But the question begs, how much airspace do you own?
And that I couldn't tell you.
So I'm looking it up right now. I typed in, do I own the... And airspace above my house was the first query.
Huh. Well, controversy it is.
Okay, so while the Supreme Court hasn't explicitly accepted that as the upper limit of property ownership, it's a useful guidance in trespass cases. That was an awkwardly worded sentence. Therefore, unless you own some very tall buildings, your private airspace probably ends somewhere between 80 and 500 feet above the ground. That's a ton. Because you go the other way, you own about 3 feet underground. Because now you get into mineral rights and you get into other legality stuff. So you own, 3 feet underground to about...
Up to 500 feet of airspace above my house?
Up to 500 feet.
I like that. I need to build something in my airspace.
Wow. Good luck getting the permits and the zoning requirements for that.
Yeah. Just build a bigger house.
And the structural integrity of your house. You'd have to flatten your house first.
I have a 3-foot foundation I can work on, 3 feet deep.
You might need a little bit more.
Maybe. But it's cool stuff. But there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of privacy issues. The idea of Amazon shipping packages with drones is cool. I don't find it entirely practical. But who knows? That might come back in the near future as a thing. For local deliveries, of course, if you live near a place that does that. But I mean, Amazon's trying to get away with and start doing one-day shipping. And
they're doing it.
And they are. They are doing it.
I've had the opportunity to have a few things shipped one day because I have Prime, and sometimes they offer single day delivery for those who have Prime.
And sometimes it goes as crazy as same day delivery. They do have that as well. If
Generally,
you're in the right
if it's
area.
local, yeah.
And I've gotten that, local. And that's actually what sold me on Prime. I think I had a trial a long time ago, and I was at work doing work things, and I was looking at external hard drives because I needed extra space for something.
Back in the hard drives.
Everybody needs extra space.
Always.
Trevor needs extra space.
Yes.
It's just harder for him.
Yeah, a lot harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was looking at external hard drives, and I saw this one that was kind of perfect. It worked for my needs.
It was kind of perfect.
Kind of perfect.
Just kind of.
A few years later, it doesn't really fit my needs anymore. But I was looking on Amazon, and I saw that it had the option for same day delivery. So I was like, heck yeah, that'd be cool. And we're talking about like 8 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I got back home at, I don't know, little afternoon, it was there on my doorstep. So that's kind of what sold me on Prime, was like, this is legit. If things have the same day delivery option. Other than that, 2 days is still pretty good.
Agreed.
So Trevor and I have begun the challenge.
Look,
bud, I am clinking my cup, and I am going to let everybody know it. We have begun the challenge. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to have to tune into the channel. Tune in your dials.
Still waiting to turn those dials and see this video.
There is a video. There may be more than one video. You'll have to find out.
Did you die in the first game?
You'll have to find out.
Did I win?
You'll have to find out.
Do I get to make the best video ever of your humiliation for the enjoyment of our viewers?
You'll have to find out after I cut the footage.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I'll cut that and I'll put it out.
And I'm looking into more stuff, so.
There's things in the works.
There are definitely things in the works. How's the website coming, by the way?
It's going.
It's going.
Bus? Alex?
I had some other things, other priorities to take care of, but it's still there, and I will be working on it soon.
There is a website, or there is a domain.
There is a domain. It is claimed.
Currently, just absorb our content from YouTube
Until further notice.
until further
Words.
nerdy. So, what's our goal with the website?
Just for it to be a
Let's-
home for our videos and information to be.
Do we plan on building a community?
Eventually, probably.
A website where people who have the common interests of watching our videos who can get together and become friends.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for more content from us as Zombie Couch, as we are currently producing content.
So I think we can really easily say that we have a lot going for us, that we have a lot of potential to go to.
Well, don't raise that bar too high. In
Well,
case
I'm not-
we
I'm
absolutely
not-
miss.
I'm not saying that we are necessarily going to get anywhere fast, but we definitely have a lot of potential. I think we also have a lot of room to grow, but
We,
We
definitely
have the
have a
room.
lot of room.
definitely have the room to grow.
We need to win that lottery.
Yeah. Got to play it first. I think it's up to like 200 something million right now. Oh, what a dream. So stay tuned for more episodes, and we will be back with you next week.
All right. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, look at all their different colored hats. You're so cute.